Well, hello. Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day, good weekend. Uh, I am Jody Skulls. I am your instructor for the MBLEx review class, and I am delighted to be coming to you today with another brick in the foundation of your learning, a brick in the foundation of who you're becoming as a massage therapist. And today is a little bit of a different class. We are going to look ahead. We're going to imagine what it feels like to have already passed, and we'll be talking about some of the fundamentals of the what next, and how to envision that for yourself. Certainly, we have a ton of content about studying for the MBLEx, how to study for the MBLEx, and today I want to offer you uh, some of the ways to avoid the pitfalls of your first year in practice, or your 30th year in practice, to be honest, because as I revisited, as I prepared for this class today, I realized there was some stuff I needed to remember. And so today our class, as usual, is in three parts, but it's a little bit different on the three parts. The three parts are we're going to open with a welcome, and we're going to open with a look, a look, either a look back for a hot second, on well, during a meditation, a look back on what you've accomplished over the last 3 months, over the last 6 months, because, well, I'll tell you once we get there. But part one is we're going to take a quick look back and recognize what we've accomplished. Part two is I'm going to share with you pitfalls I have seen over and over and over again. And it's going to sound super simple. And yet, in practice, when you have these fundamentals in place, your practice runs so much more smoothly. And so we're going to get away from some of the anatomy and physiology and kinesiology. And I'm giving you a sample of what it feels like to consider your practice. And I'm giving you some strategies today in our part two on building your practice. And here, here's a spoiler alert, you can implement those right now. Even though it is for when you become licensed, after you've passed the MBLEx, I strongly recommend and encourage you to practice on bodies, to have clients, have practice clients while you're studying to keep your skills sharp. Yeah, it's very helpful, very helpful. And then in part three of class today, we're going to jot down a few words. We're going to do some visualization. And in general, once a quarter, usually at the start of the quarter, I like to pump the brakes, press pause, and be like, okay, is this train heading in the right direction? Is there anything we need to do to tweak this to make sure that I am on track for my goals? And written goal, unless we have written goals are just dreams. Goals are just ideas unless they're written down. Seriously. In fact, I mean, I have a big blank piece of paper right here waiting for my goals because it's the beginning of a quarter. And to support where I'm going, to support what I'm doing. I even have a big blank calendar on this side. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. But this is a beautiful time at the beginning of a quarter or the end of a quarter to just pause and say, okay, what clearly are my goals? And if we're not sure, that's okay. But asking that question plants that seed. And that's what we're doing today in part three of our class, is planting those seeds of knowing, of making space for the voice, that inside voice, our intuition, for our heart to speak to us. We're going to lay that groundwork today. So let's get started. I don't know what your morning was like, but mine was crazy. And in fact, yeah, I'll even just spare the craziness because I don't want to bring it into the classroom, into our Zoom room. I want to establish this beautiful space with you today. So if you are in a safe place to do so, we're going to pause and just get centered. Some would call it meditating, but I'm going to call it getting centered. So just feel what's below you right now, whether you're standing, sitting, laying, driving, um, sitting on a ball, sitting on a chair. Just feel what's underneath you and feel supported. Feel supported. Know that this support, that where you are touching the earth right now, whether it's with your feet and heels, whether it's with your legs, your butt, your back, that where that pressure is supporting you, where that pressure is supporting you, where you feel your contact with the earth, know that that is a symbol of Mother Earth supporting you. Mother Earth, some call her Gaia, supporting you just by you paying attention and feeling that seat underneath you, that support. That represents Mother Earth's support of you right where you are right now. It represents the support you have from infinite wisdom, from, if you call the infinite wisdom God or Allah or Rama, that higher power, that is supporting you. That entity, God, Jesus, Holy Spirit, whatever you call that entity, that life force is supporting you right now, right here, today. And even though we may be busy, we may be driven, all we need to do is to come back to this awareness of the massive support that surrounds us. Right now, I hope that you are in a warm space, a safe space, free from the rain or weather that's outside. And know that that too is evidence of the support that the universe is giving you. Is there food in the fridge? Is there gas in your tank? Figuratively and literally. That is evidence that the universe is supporting you. And so now we just recognize that this is a day. This is the day we're calling Thursday. This is a body I call Jody. And in this moment, we know that even just by listening to the sound of my voice, just by listening to the sound of my voice, I know that you are driven. I know that you have a plan for your life, you have a design for your life, even if it's not all black and white, not if it's not all written down. I know what I know about you is that you are moving forward. Whether that is quickly or that is slowly, whether that is at your pace that you imagined were at a different pace. I know that you are wired to move forward. So in this moment, I want to pause in the presence. A good way to pause in the presence is just to become aware of your breath. And for a moment, we're going to look to the past. This past morning, this past day, this past 24 hours, what's something you accomplished? Maybe it was making your bed. That's enough. What are the big or small things you've accomplished in the last day? What's something big or little that you've accomplished in the last week? Did you help a friend? Did you let a friend help you? Were you patient? What's a big or little thing that you've accomplished over the last week? And we're going to stretch this out. Think about 30 days ago. Hard to imagine 30 days ago, right? But in the last 30 days, what have you accomplished? We could take the next 15 minutes and you could write down all the different things you've accomplished, big and small. And I encourage you to consider that exercise once we're done with class today. Pause and make a list of 10 things you've accomplished, because it takes a minute to remember. When you're wired, like you're wired, to advance, to move forward, to grow, it's an epidemic with these expanding, wonderful people, expanding entrepreneurs, maybe expanding employees, just evolving humans. You happen to be an evolving human. And there's an epidemic. We've got a gene that we need to treat. And that is, we don't give ourselves credit for what we've accomplished. Maybe you do. I'm just saying what I have seen with the graduates coming through this program, with the newly licensed therapist, with therapists in their first year of practice. Too often they don't celebrate what they've accomplished. They're like, on to the next goal. Certainly, if you've passed the MBLEx, it's something to celebrate. When you pass the MBLEx, you can imagine how good it's going to feel. And yet this reminds us that we can celebrate regularly. We can at least pause and say, you know, I did a lot this week. I did a lot. It gives us the opportunity to say a little pat on the back. Maybe if it's safe to do so, you even want to do that right now. Give yourself a little pat on the back. If for nothing else, then for showing up to listen to this, to be here today. Pat on the back. Good job. When we pause to recognize what we've accomplished, it gives us an internal motivation to accomplish more. We actually trick our brain because we actually release some serotonin when we say, wow, good job. And that feels good and we want more. So pausing to reflect on what we've accomplished is essential for a long-term success. And a great day to start that is now. So let's just be present for another 30 seconds, aware of our breath. aware of our body. Tune into your body. How does it feel? Maybe ask your body, what do you need right now? Hey, body, what do you want right now? Coffee, water, sleep, food, sunlight, stretch, fresh air. What does your body need right now? Ask what, hey, body, what do I need right now? What do you need right now? Yeah. So what I know is that you each have accomplished a lot. And so congratulations. Congratulations. Good work. Good work getting here. Honestly, good work just getting here. And good work with what you've recognized you've accomplished, because I'll bet it's about 1% of what you actually do. For all of you who are moms or spouses or partners, or there's all that stuff too, right? Yeah. All right, let's change gears, because today we are here to talk about avoiding pitfalls in your practice. One of those pitfalls is not giving yourself credit for stuff you've accomplished, but we've taken care of that one today. I'm going to share with you the list of the pitfalls in practice. It's a little overview of what we're accomplishing today. So here's what we've done already. We have given ourselves a pat on the back, and we're going to talk about some of these pitfalls in practice. And you'll see we're going to talk about money and hours and policies and best practices legally and business practices. And then in about 20 minutes, we're going to do some goal setting. And for your consideration, even early on, why did you get into massage therapy? Yeah. So we're going to go back there. What was your initial drive to get into massage therapy? But let's start by talking about some of these pitfalls. And I'm happy to send you this list, and you can revisit it or post this. I will post this list, and you can revisit it whenever you want to have a reference. I suggest you print it and keep it in your work papers folder. So let's start with money. Yeah. Money, money, money. Yeah. So it's almost a DNA trait that if you are a massage therapist, there's some relationship with money that says, oh, I'm doing this because I love to do it. I feel called to do it. Yes, you sure do. And you deserve to get paid for it. Money is energy. It is an exchange, and it allows people to receive from you more often because they can pay you something. So let's talk about some of the pitfalls, though, and some of the things I'd like you to be aware of as you start working with either your practice clients or your real clients. So one of the pitfalls is charging different rates for different people. Now, you may say, oh, I've got a senior citizen rate, I've got a military discount rate, that's fine, as long as they're clearly defined. And also they're written down somewhere so that when people come to see you, they have your policies on your discounts. Because a friend may refer a friend and say you do a senior citizen discount, you do a veterans discount. They may not be aware of that policy. So make sure that if you're charging different rates for different people, that it's clearly defined as to why and what those boundaries are and how people qualify for that. So charging too little or too much is also something that I've seen a lot of massage therapists struggle with. $60 for 60 minutes. That is long gone, you guys. It is long gone. If you decide to do that for a short amount of time, maybe with your practice clients, you charge them $50 because you're not licensed and you're practicing, right? That's fine, but have a clear boundary that that is your practice rate, that smaller amount was your practice rate, but when all of your paperwork is done, your regular rate might be 50 while you're practicing, but it'll be 75 when you're licensed. Personally, I charge $125 for a 1-hour session. My 1-hour session is 60 minutes, and I instruct my clients to leave about an extra 15 minutes for their session because the chit chat that I do with them does not count towards their table time. They are 60 minutes on the table. That's an example of a clearly defined policy. Other places you'll go to work, if you become an employee, will have a 50-minute session. Many places do now. Most of the franchises where you are booked every hour on the hour. And so they say you're booking an hour massage, but it's really 50 minutes. Clearly defined policy. What's your policy, personally, on taking credit cards? Do you take Venmo? Do you take PayPal? Do you take Zelle? Do you take credit cards? Do you use Square? What is your process? Do you charge a little extra because you have to pay the fee? I charge $125 for a session, flat rate. And personally, I tell my clients that tipping is not expected, just appreciated. I charge enough I feel like I'm valued. Some of my clients insist on tipping me, but many of them are very grateful that I've been upfront about my tipping policy. My tipping policy, again, is that it is appreciated but not expected. Tipping is not expected, it's appreciated. I have a little sign. Yeah. And that way it takes, because think about that, right? You've already faced it. I know you have. Because are you promoting your business as a part of health and wellness, healthy lifestyle living? Do your clients tip their chiropractor? Do you tip your chiropractor? Do you tip your physical therapist? How are your clients seeing you? What are they coming to you for? Is it more of a spa treatment? Is it a relaxation treatment? Is it a more therapeutic in the sense of that, like they would get at a spa? Then have a clear tipping policy. State it right up front. Have a sign. I still encourage, even if you really want tips, if that's going to be a big part of your income, please still have a sign. Tipping is appreciated, not expected. That's the difference, right? The attitude. But what's your policy on taking credit cards? Are you set up to do that? Do you know how to do that? I mean, so many people use Venmo and PayPal and Zelle now. I mean, very, very easy to do so. Cash App, another one, that are all alternatives for you. Do you sell packages? Do you sell gift certificates? Ah, all these questions, right? But that's why I'm going through these things with you now. Have a clear policy on that because eventually someone's going to ask, can I buy a gift certificate? How do you sell a gift certificate? Do you have a website? Do you have online, where they can print something themselves so fancy, right? Yeah. All of these are considerations for your first year of practice or your new year. Maybe you're relaunching your practice. Let's get clear on these policies. Let's get clear on the money. Because when we have a great relationship with money, money has a great relationship with us. If you were going to date money, if money was going to be your new BFF, would you talk to it once a month or once a quarter? No, man, you'd be like texting every other day, right? Hey, what are you up to? Hey, did you see that show? Hey, if money's going to be your new BFF, how would you treat money? What kind of relationship would you like to foster with money? Treat money like a best friend, and it will return the favor. Money, what we appreciate, appreciates. All right. Another pitfall for new therapists and experienced therapists. Um, what are your hours? Recently, I had to just establish my hours. I work Thursday afternoon, Friday, Saturday, and Monday. That's when I see clients. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday up until 3, I don't. Typically on Thursdays, I'm here with you between 12 and 3. But then by the time we do the class and I post the video and respond to questions, I just like to have that time. So I can see my first client, personally, I see my first client at 4 o'clock on Thursdays. And I have scheduled availability. So when my client says, what's available this week? I've got a 9 o'clock and a 10:30 available on Friday. Which of those is better for you? Do you have anything later? Yes, I have a 3 or a 4:30 available on Friday. Are either of those good for you? Hear what I'm doing. Super, super gold nugget of wisdom here. Choice of 2. Choice of 2. Start big. Would you like Thursday or Friday? Start bigger. Would you like weekday or weekend? When you're talking with a client who wants to schedule, I usually book them 24 hours out. I usually don't take immediate appointments. It tends to discombobulate my day unless it's already available. If someone just gives me the 911, oh my God, I need a massage. Bad planning on their part does not represent a crisis for me. I have tomorrow at 9 or 10:30 available. So choice of 2, always choice of 2, choice of 2. Put it in the chat. Choice of 2, choice of 2. People, you say, oh, I want to be flexible. It confuses people. And it shows you're organized. You're in control of your schedule. I can do any time on Saturday. Oh, hell no, you can't. No. You set up your schedule. You work from 12 to 7. Fine. Great. Have your appointments. I go 12, 1:30, 3, 4:30, 6, and 7:30. Those are my times. Choice of 2. Yes, thank you. Yes. So offering them today or tomorrow, or Friday or Saturday, or Saturday or Monday, which works better for you. Oh, Saturday. Great. Would morning or afternoon work better for you? Boom. Afternoon. Excellent. I have 1:30 or 3 o'clock available. Which would work better for you? Could you do 2? Yes or no. Choice of 2. Hours. Control your hours. If you do not control your hours, someone else will. Someone else will. If you don't control your schedule, someone else will. I'm moving away from that. Now, also, some people say to me, some therapists, oh, Jody, I just want to be flexible because I want to be able to see people all the time. Hours, when you establish your hours, it gives you peace of mind because you know when you're working. I know I see 7 clients a week. Boom. Once I see 7 clients a week, check the box. You want to see 10 clients a week? You want to see 4 clients a week? Set it up. Set yourself up for success. And you can add, but don't take away. All right, let's move away from hours. That's a whole class in itself, honestly. Each of these, money, hours, policies, it's a whole class in itself. And we're going to have classes for you. You just look for the business classes. We'll be test driving them over the next 30 days, and then we'll figure out exactly what day and what time we'll do our business classes. And we're going to do weekly business classes for you because each of these subjects could be a class in and of itself. So go ahead and check it out on the website. Check it out in the patron community. At this moment, right now, I can't tell you when, but it'll be posted so you can clearly find it. It'll be in the chat whenever I post this. Let's look at policies. All right. Oh, Jody, I want to be flexible. That's me shaking you. No, you don't want to be flexible. Right, because if you don't control your schedule, someone else will. So let's set up some policies that are some guidelines. For example, a 24-hour cancellation policy. You can put that right on your health intake sheet that you have a 24-hour cancellation policy. Personally, I'm flexible with 24 hours if it's a real emergency. Hear me, hear me. An emergency is I have a flat tire. An emergency is my kid is sick. I'm sick. Something that was kind of out of their control. Drama is not an emergency. And know the difference. You'll know the difference when it comes time. Because if people are rescheduling their appointment all the time, they may not be the best client for you. Drama? No, no. You are attracting clients who are so grateful for your work, so grateful that they have an appointment with you. They're not going to miss their appointment. They're going to prioritize you in your appointment and the appointment. Also, you're not canceling appointments. No, no. Suck it up, Buttercup. You don't feel like it? Sorry, you've got an appointment. You're a professional now. Yeah, I don't care if you're working out of your house or, that you're just seeing clients, like one-on-one, not in a brick and mortar building, but maybe you're going to their home or they're coming to your home. You are a licensed healthcare professional. This is what is defined as professionalism and best business practices. You don't cancel your appointments either unless there's an emergency. Oh, and by the way, we have a 3-strike rule. I have a 3-strike rule that if a client, so first time they have to cancel, we're not going to charge them the 24-hour. I'm not going to charge them a 24-hour cancellation fee. It's understandable. Sorry, it happens. Second time, they're going to get that warning, but third time, 3rd strike, they're done. They're either done as a client or now they have to pay. So personally, I have a 3-strike rule. I don't publicize that to my clients. That makes me, like nice, right? But my policy is that I'll be nice 3 times and then you're out. Because if there's drama, if there's craziness, if you have to keep canceling your appointments, you're not my best client. Sorry. Later in life, when you can figure it out, come on back. But your drama does not turn into my drama. Part of our policy. Internal policy. Cancellation policy, that's what we publicize to our clients. 24-hour cancellation policy, if they have to use it, if they have to break that rule, that's when we can have our internal policy of how we handle that. Because you don't have to be tough all the time, but you also don't want to be taken advantage of. Yeah. All right. And you'll see here the SOAP note, your health intake sheet can say that. By the way, doing SOAP notes after your session is a cover your ass policy. If you do your SOAP notes after even if it's 1 paragraph, even if it's not something you could submit to an insurance company, please, 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 just write a paragraph. I mean, and same stuff, different day doesn't cut it. Full body Swedish, fine. What were their major complaints? What were their areas of concern? Just jot it down. Jot down the name of their dog. Jot down what they were doing that day. Give yourself a mental touch point to come back to. Had just had a birthday. Kid's birthday, dog named Pluto. Tons of traffic today. Give yourself some mental, in your SOAP notes, a mental touch point that the next time you see them, you grab their chart. You will be grabbing their chart. You'll be pulling their chart. Oh, okay. Last time we worked on, your low back. How is that feeling today? Massive professionalism there. That there's continuity of care. Hey, I have a note here that you had an appointment for a physical. Did that happen? Mindset, right? Mindset. Professional. However that shows up for you. And so also as part of your policies, a question I wanted to ask is how do your new clients contact you? Do you have a dedicated phone number? Probably not, right? So that means they're either calling you or texting you. Do you work by referral only? Are you putting out pamphlets? Are people from your neighborhood or your gym or your YMCA? Are they calling you? People you don't know? What does your voicemail sound like? Time to change the voicemail. hmm And I would recommend changing your voicemail a couple times a year. Keep it fresh. Do you check your voicemail? Oh, busted. That happened to me. I had a client call. I thought it was spam. Wasn't in my phone. It was a referral. Left a voicemail. God bless her. Left a voicemail. I didn't hear it for like 3 days. Is your voicemail full? How annoying is it when you call someone and it says their voicemail is full? You're probably not going to leave a voicemail, but I'm just saying it shows attention to detail. You're a professional now. If someone's calling that phone, what if they're old school? What if they want to leave you a message? Maybe you want to get a Google phone number or explore how that works. All right. But how do your new clients contact you? Is that comfortable? Is it transparent? Are they, is it like they're calling a real business? These are things that it's time to get set up. And check your voicemail. Delete some of your voicemails, please. I need to too. All right. Home stretch. We're going to talk about the legal and business practices that as you start your business, you want to be aware of. Do you have liability insurance? When you become a member of ABMP, AMTA, NCB, all of these things, they have insurance. However, you can get insurance through Massage Magazine. You can get insurance through your agent. But you'll need to look at the liability insurance that is standard for you to practice where you're practicing. So that could be in your home, that could be in your client's home, and that could be at another location. So say you go to work for a franchise, you go to work for another business. Maybe you go to work for the local salon, spa. Um, maybe you go to work for the Ritz. Maybe you go to work for Massage Envy. With your liability insurance, you can name another entity where you work. And so you just add them to the places that you work. Again, it's transparency, and that's something your agent or the ABMP or the AMTA can advise you on. But you do need liability insurance. It's just you have to have it. It's part of what you legally need to practice. And so, looking at that, we've talked a little bit about that in our policies and procedures lectures. But just know that when you join a association, it's a part of your membership. I think the AMTA is up to just under $300 right now. And there's a lot of other benefits that come with that, like a template for a website. They give you some visibility. If you want to explore that more, feel free to reach out to me directly. But you definitely need liability insurance. There are pros and cons to joining an association. I like to think of I believe there are more pros to joining an association, but it is something you need to do every year. You need to pay a fee every year to renew that membership. Speaking of renew, for those of you who are on this path, you know that passing the MBLEx is a thing, right? It's a thing. It's a challenge. It's a opportunity. It's a something you don't ever want to have to do again. Right? Yeah, let's do this once. Let's never do this again. So that means you need to know when your license renews. Most states are 2 years. You must keep your license up to date. You must keep your continuing ed up to date. You do not want to risk losing your license once you have it, right? Yeah. And so you need to pay the fee to renew it and pay the fees to do your continuing ed. And typically in different states, it's the numbers change, but most of the states are 24 credits for over 2 years that you'll need in continuing ed to renew your license. And the business practices class that we're doing will be qualified for those continuing ed um, credits as well. Um, but no liability insurance. Keep your license up to date. Know when you're going to renew it. You can do license lookup in your state. It will tell you when your license renews. Yeah. All right. And speaking of best practices for business, many of you will be making business cards. What goes on a business card? Let's take a look. Well, your name and how you want people to contact you. I like to put a state, like a city and a state. If you're working from home, don't put your home address. No need for it. You're going to give them directions when it's time. Yeah, but you can put the county, the city, the state on your business card. It gives it some credibility. You'll want a phone number. Do you want an email address? How good are you at email? Do you answer your email? Do you have a work email? That's very helpful. You may want to be like char massage at Gmail, or the name of your business, the business of bodywork at gmail.com. For me, I have an address, Jody at jodyskulls.com. Not easy for everyone to spell. So we want something that's easy to spell, but also that you're looking at that carefully at that name selection if you're naming your business. You can legally name your business or just call it something, like, for the purposes of an email address. But be very careful with what you name your business. Does it portray something that your grandma would be like, what does that mean? Would a comedian make fun of that name? If you had a newspaper article written about your business, how would that feel? When you go to register your business name, what are the town hall employees going to think your business is? I worked with a client in the past who wanted to name her business Touch and Glow. Okay. Mm, just think about the vibe of that. Is that good? Are you going for the spa? Are you going for a relaxation? Lovely. But to the average person who's considering massage, your best client, is Touch and Glow is the perfect name? They're going to be like, oh my God, I need to go there. Or are they going to be like, what does that mean? Be careful about regional names as well. I mean, is that going to be something that translates? Could be. If you want help with name selection or feedback on name selection, feel free to shoot me an email, shoot me a little text, a message through the patron site, and I'll be happy to give you feedback. All right, let's breathe. Oh, because many massage therapists are amazing at the table, amazing with hands-on skills, and it takes a lot of energy to talk about business. So thanks for talking about business with me. It's really important to me that at least on a quarterly basis, that you make time to work on your business, not just in your business. Because you can get really busy in your business really quickly. And then the working on the business takes less of a priority. So make time to work on your business like we did just now, as well as in your business. So I'm going to stop my screen share for right now because it is time to talk about what is your heart calling forth. This is part 3 of our class. And part of working on your business is to get back in touch with why you became a massage therapist, why you wanted to go to massage therapy school. What is that story for you? Why did you become a massage therapist? Excellent. I'll get to these questions in the chat just afterwards. And I appreciate that Melissa, you're saying I don't think of it as a challenge, or it's just a challenge. It's not a roadblock. But let me quote you properly. Yeah, just a challenge. It's not a roadblock, but a challenge. This is just something we're jumping over. It's stamina, right? Strengthening us. Why did you get into massage therapy? Why did you want to become a massage therapist? Not everybody wants to do this. Stinky feet, stinky armpits, hairy backs. There, I said it. Crusty toenails. We do this work because we love it. We may not love crusty toenails, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying that, and you can avoid those, and you should, because they could be contagious. But let's go back to what motivated you to become a massage therapist. Is there a dream job? Like, what's your dream job? I used to think it was being on a cruise ship. And then it moved into being in a gym. And then it moved to private practice. And then it moved to clinical practice. And then it moved away from clinical, having a large brick and mortar practice, back to being private practice. Do you love working with the elderly? Do you love working with hospice? Do you love working with oncology patients, people going through cancer treatment? Do you love working with pregnant women? What's your dream job? Who could you work on? What type of client could you work on all day, every day, and be like, yeah, bring more? Professional athletes. There's a few of you out there who want to do it. You say, I want to be a part of a professional sports team. That's a dream job. But let's get that vibe, right? Let's just think about what it would feel like to be in that dream job. The pay that you would get, whether you're being paid per client or you're being paid a salary. In that dream job, are you doing any administrative work? Are you running your own business? Or are you working for someone else? I highly recommend you consider working for someone else. It's easier. If you're working for yourself, making time for that administrative stuff, the business cards, the flyers. Feel how that feels. Does that resonate? Does that feel good? That's why I started my own business, because I like that stuff. If it doesn't feel good, let's stick with what feels good. Working with clients. Let's just hone in on that. Your dream job. Do you have 2 or 3 ideas of what your dream job might be? Do you have different types of clients you like to work with? What is your heart calling forth? What does your heart resonate with? I know you know. I feel it. When you think about working with those clients, we fill up versus get depleted. That's the difference. We fill up. It's like, oh, I got so much out of working with them. And they get so much out of you working with them too. What is your heart calling forth? Just sit with that for a minute. The reason you went to massage school. What's your story? Were you always the one who was rubbing on your dad's back, your mom's back, your aunts and uncles? Were you the one? It just feels natural. Who do you love to work with? If you don't know who you love to work with, who do you know you don't like to work with? That's not for me. Maybe you're a male massage therapist and I'm not really comfortable with pregnancy massage. Cool, good, you know that. Yeah, just sit with that for a minute. Your favorite clients, because sometimes you get to your favorite clients by just remembering who you put your hands on at clinic, at school, who you're putting your hands on right now, who you just wish. Do you have a wish list of who you'd like to work on? I do. Bono, Dwayne Johnson, yeah, David Beckham. These are all people who I'd like to work on. Haven't worked on them yet. Worked on a lot of people, a lot of people, a lot of professional athletes, a lot of entertainment. But have a wish list. And maybe your wish list isn't names, but maybe it's the VA, veterans. Maybe it's a population like you love animals and you'd like to have clients who work at the National Zoo or work at your local zoo. Maybe you'd like to have clients who pay you who work at the SPCA. Maybe you have a business that you know of that trains dogs for veterans and you'd like to have them as clients. What's your wish list? What lights you up? What is going to make you want to jump out of bed in the morning and be like, I cannot wait to see these people? Yeah, let's just sit with that for a moment. That vibe, because we're calling it in. Together, we're calling it in. And as we wrap up class and we move into questions and kind of going through the questions in the chat, as we move into that, I ask you, what can you do today? One baby step that you can do today, that you can take today, that brings you towards that dream. Maybe you said, I want to be doing massage therapy in Venice, Italy. Okay. Can you print a picture of Venice? Do you have pictures of Venice on your wall somewhere? Maybe you said, my wild and crazy dream is I would like to be the massage therapist for our basketball team at college or at your pro team. Can you make a phone call? Look up, what jobs are available. What one baby step could you take to affiliating with that basketball team? Maybe you said, oh, Jode, I just, the elderly and hospice is my jam. Do a Google search on hospice in your area. Maybe you already know the assisted living facility that you could work at for pay, not for free, for pay. What's the baby step you could take? Maybe get a list of 3 assisted living facilities that you're going to reach out to and say, do you offer massage therapy? The residents may end up paying you, but maybe the home pays you. Maybe the VA pays you. Don't worry about that part right now. Taking a baby step today is the most important part. Before you put your head on the pillow tonight, before you dash off to your next activity, baby step towards serving that perfect client, that client that you just already love. A baby step towards realizing the wild and crazy dream. That was a part of the reason that you initially became a massage therapist. Jot it down. Circle it. What if? What if? This is where it starts. This is where the juice, the emotion, the vibration, this is where it starts. A baby step today. So as we wrap up, I want to, this session today, I want to answer a few questions that came in the chat, and I would invite you to all Feel free to, if you're comfortable in doing so, you can turn on your microphone to respond, or to ask questions. And all right, so we have one policy in here from Melissa that says I'd say if they get sick and it's 3 hours out or so, I would let them reschedule. 100%, Melissa. I was the same way. I personally had a 4 hour window because I knew within 4 hours I could reschedule that appointment. Yeah. So, and 3 or 4 hours gives you time to rearrange your own schedule. It's not just like leaving you high and dry. It's 15 minutes after they're supposed to start, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm sick." Yeah. Okay. You could have called me. Hello. Yes. So good clarification. My fee for canceling is $50. I don't charge for the full session. I charge $50. When I had a clinic, we charged a $25 cancellation fee. We didn't charge for the full, we just charged a $25 cancellation fee, and with that, I actually paid the therapist the $25. But you can set your own rate. Personally, I charge 50 because now I don't have staff. Um, but it's a little less of a sting. It's a little less of a negative transaction. And at 25 bucks or 50 bucks, people are willing to be like, "Yeah, I'm sorry. Yep, I'll just pay it. Just charge me." All right. Let's see. I don't want to think about the MBLEx as a roadblock, but a challenge. Absolutely, I agree. And yes, I know, Riva, the elderly are your sweet spot. Yeah, that honoring our elderly is a big sweet spot for me too. Honoring our Native American elderly, especially Native American, just the elderly in general. But it can be a double whammy if they're a marginalized uh, demographic or population. So. Um, but what questions? So let me go ahead and wrap up this recording. Thanks so much for listening today. And I feel certain that you got some jewels of wisdom in our process today. I do love talking about business. I do love giving feedback on your ideas. Feel free to reach out to me. My name again is Jody Scholes. You can reach me through the messaging on YouTube. You can reach me in the Patron app. We have a community of many folks, many students, many graduates in the patron community. I'll put the link here. Reach out to me there. And you can reach out to me from messaging me through my website. And many of you have been very creative getting to me through my website, which is awesome. jodyskulls.com is my website, and you can just message me from there as well if you want to reach out. But for today, we're saying goodbye, best practices. We'll see you real soon.